The number 12 DePaul Blue Demons hit Finner and Pavilion, 25 wins. They're looking for their 7th straight win of the season, but it's senior day in Villanova and the final regular home season game for Harry Beretta. Can Bridget Herlihy and Mary Gadeka help stop Sonia Morris and the high-powered DePaul Blue Demons? We'll find out next, right here on the Big East Digital Network. And hi everyone, with Christine Mata and our great crew. So glad to have you with us. Boy, Christine, DePaul has been so powerful through the years under Doug Bruno. Just unstoppable, averaging over 85 points per game. Nova has a top-ranked defense in the Big East. Can they stop DePaul today and climb the Big East standings?
Well, what an atmosphere it's going to be here in the Fin, but Villanova creeping up. They still have an opportunity to get into that top 4.
DePaul will be the number 1 seed in the Big East tournament in their hometown of Chicago at Wintrust Arena in a few weeks. Let's talk more Sonia Morris. To me, she's the Big East most improved player. She poured in a career-high 30 points in the win over Villanova when these teams met up earlier this season.
Yeah, she's only a sophomore. She also had 22 in the big win over Georgetown on Friday night, and she's one of 4 starters for this team that average in double figures.
And she's been on fire, averaging over 20 points per game the last 3. Talk about improved player Bridget Herlihy has gotten the green light from Harry Beretta, second in the Big East in block. She's that really good, versatile player that can do a little bit of everything for Harry Beretta.
She's become that third scorer that they've been looking for, and she arguably played her best all-around game on Friday night against Marquette. She wants to make this senior night very special for her and her teammates.
Villanova is looking for their 3rd straight win. Heck of a matchup coming up between DePaul and Villanova right here on the Big East Digital Network.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead, we got to raise it up.
Just 3 losses for the Blue Demons this year. Oregon State, UConn, and Creighton. They've won 16 of their last 17. Just getting set for tip-off. Their program record for wins, Christine, is 29, which they did back in the tail end of 2014. Just won their 6th Big East regular season title, as we said. Villanova's defense has been outstanding. There's the starting lineup led by Kelly Campbell, and Shante Stonewall might be the Big East player of the year.
She has a great candidacy for it, and they have 4 of those starters that average double figures.
Deja Church, the Michigan transfer, really rounds this group into form. Lexi Held, the good shooter. Cameron Onken been defending well, just like Raven James in the backcourt. Maddie Segrist had been the Big East leading scorer at 20 points per game. She's dipped off a little bit. Bridget Herlihy, and of course Mary Gadeka, who was just a star in the win over Marquette Friday.
Just a lot of emotions here on senior day. You really don't know how young ladies are going to play with all of the emotion.
The number 1 scoring defense in the conference is Villanova. The number 1 offense is DePaul. Which team can make it their style today, Christine? That's the factor.
That's the factor, and turnovers. Which team can limit those turnovers? DePaul loves to cause them, and Villanova needs to take better care of that basketball.
Here's Mary Gadeka, has been shooting from the outside, known for her play inside, one of the best overall players in the conference. There's a 3-pointer for Cameron Onken, the senior out of Indianapolis.
We said a lot of emotions on senior day, and Cameron Onken continuing what she did on Friday with her sharp shooting.
Villanova actually outshot DePaul in the first meeting this year. Shante Stonewall misses from long range, and a nice rebound by Lexi Held, and it's knocked away as the Blue Demons typically get a lot of rebounds, a lot of second chance opportunities. There's Doug Bruno.
And one thing we saw on Friday night against Marquette for this Villanova basketball club is that they were able to dominate the defensive boards early. You saw a lot of white shirts, and they limited Marquette. That's what they're going to need to do today.
Spin move by Deja Church fails. The Detroit kid spent a couple years at Michigan under Kim Barnes-Arico as Villanova missed it down low. Lexi Held has struggled with her shooting, but she's as good a shooter as there is in the conference, frankly. And Kelly Campbell has another triple-double on her account this season. That one's off the mark again for DePaul.
Yeah, Villanova would love to see Maddie Segrist, who missed that layup a little bit earlier, get going early. She was limited to single digits on Friday night, and look at the offensive output Villanova still was able to have.
Raven James is called for travel. Our officials are Ed Sidlasky, Ashley Gilpin, and Tom Danaher. There's Harry Peretta in his 42nd year, his home regular season finale for the legend.
It's such an amazing environment here at the Finn. Everybody has come out of the woodwork to watch this man who has impacted so many lives.
Oh, look at that step back. Nasty move right from the elbow for Sonya Morris. He drills it two.
And every time DePaul makes a basket, you see them get into that pressure. They want to force turnovers. They want to make you take some time off of that shot clock and get into your half-court sets around 20.
16.6 points per game, 7th best in the Big East for Sonya Morris. She has 10 20-point games this year. Villanova tries the back door. I've talked about this a lot this year, Christine. The Big East, it's a young conference. DePaul is turning teams over more than they usually do. I think they feasted on the young prey this season.
Yeah, I mean, they're so experienced. They've had such an amazing run. You know, we saw Doug Bruno on the screen a little bit earlier, what he's been able to do. And these two coaches, the consistency and the sustainability that they've had, you know, regardless of who wins today, it's going to be the combined 1,500th win between these two men.
Somebody's going to get one, right?
Yeah, somebody's going to get one.
Lexi Held missed it. DePaul struggling from the field early on. There is Maddie Segrist. She is close to breaking the all-time Villanova freshman scoring record.
Yeah, and she's a double-double machine as well. What she's been able to come in and do at such a young age has been phenomenal.
Jonte Stonewall averaging nearly 18 points per game. She's the number 4 scorer in this conference. How about the press that we'll see from DePaul? They do this every year under Doug Bruno. They force a ton of turnovers, Christine. They have forced 20 turnovers or more 22 times this year.
Well, you know, they want to make teams play ugly, but they want to almost outscore. Yes, they put on this defensive pressure, but they want to outscore and outrun you and cause some chaos on your offense.
And keep that high-paced, high-powered offense going. Jonte Stonewall, Kelly Campbell leading the surge. Kelly Campbell, #1 assist to turnover mark in the country.
Well, and it's just the pace at which they play. You know, these are two very different styles. Villanova would like to take some time off the shot clock. They're very methodical. They move well without the basketball. And DePaul wants to get up and down the floor.
23 out of the last 24. Villanova has held under 80 points. The only one in that span is DePaul, who put a season-high 85 points on Nova. There is Maddie Segrist on a 2. Quick 3 from Sonya Morris doesn't work, out of bounds.
And you can see just exactly what Villanova's trying to do. They're trying to get Maddie Segrist involved early. They're doing that 4 out, 1 in, and helping her isolate in the paint.
And the Blue Demons will attack. Quick pull-up for Jonte Stonewall. Does it again. Excellent job as DePaul takes a 1-point lead. She has 6 points in the early going.
She has been so impressive over her career. I mean, she is as, you know, solid as they come in the Big East Conference.
Villanova just gets it over the timeline as Cam Onken went up for the layup and had it stripped.
Actually, one official called a foul on that.
Sonya Morris called for the personal. There's Doug Bruno. Just missed making the Hall of Fame by inches, Christine.
Well, he's having a Hall of Fame conversation right now. He's like, wait a minute, your buddy down there said it was out on her. How are you calling a foul?
Here's Cam Onken. Villanova has struggled at the free throw line this year, but they've gotten better, 69% as a team, 7th best in the Big East. Here's Cam Onken. She's going to forgo her final year of eligibility to enter dental school.
Yeah, not a bad reason to go. And, you know, she was honored here with the other seniors because she is graduating, and unbelievable academically as well for this senior class.
Did you remember to floss this morning, Christine?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay, I think I forgot. Jonte Stonewall again. Nothing normal about the normal Illinois kid. She is a transcendent talent for Doug Bruno. She's gotten better and better through the years.
And you look at what DePaul's been able to do with all of the emotion and the excitement in this arena. They are just coming in and trying to quiet down this crowd.
From normal Illinois, of course. Third time is the charm for Maddie Segrist, who now has the Villanova freshman scoring record all to herself as she passes the great Shelly Pennefather, of course, Villanova's all-time leading scorer. Lexi Held misses a three.
And it's almost good to kind of get that out of the way for Segrist. You know, when you're approaching different milestones and records, it's good to get it out of the way, and then you can just relax and play.
The great scorers we have in this league. Inside again, Maddie Segrist gets her own miss, but fails to score on the second chance. And a traveling call on Deja Church as we'll step away. Fast start. It's DePaul 10 and Villanova 10. Maddie Segrist has 6 points. Shante Stonewall has 8. We'll be right back.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was gonna spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
DePaul won the first meeting earlier this season, 85-69. Maddie Segrist had 19 points, but of course Lexi Held had 21, and Sonia Morris, we talked about it in the open, had 30 points. So far, Villanova is able to keep up with DePaul, and Maddie Segrist has been terrific this year, Christine, averaging 19 points plus per game.
She's doing a little bit of everything thus far. She's able to slip from her defender with the backdoor move. She's around the rim. They're playing that 4-out-1 win, but she's also getting on the boards. There you see her padding her stats a little bit, getting that extra rebound in there. And then Stonewall, 8 of the 10 points for DePaul, and Segrist 6 of the 10 points for Villanova. The Stars are rising here early in this game.
We have 3 of the Big East top 5 leading scorers in this matchup for today. Maddie Segrist, number 2, as we said, over 19 points per game. Shante Stonewall, the number 4 scorer in the league, and Mary Gadeka comes in at number 5.
And you can see that Maddie Segrist with over 500 points scored in this, her very first season in the Big East. Just an amazing accomplishment for the young star. And talking to Coach Harry Peretta, he said, I knew she was going to be good, but I didn't realize she was going to be this good offensively this early.
She had a Villanova freshman record, 41 points in the win at LaSalle back in December, the second most in Villanova history, just the third 40-point game ever in Villanova women's basketball history. That is knocked away out of bounds. It's taken some time talking with Harry Peretta yesterday for this team to gel on the court. He feels the chemistry has finally come, even though they've had some turnover issues this season.
Well, that game on Friday against Marquette might have been their best all-around game. They came out very assertive, very aggressive, and with a lot of emotion. Again, you're entering the final 2 weekends of the conference season. You're trying to line up your seedings, but there's a lot to play for these seniors and for their head coach who will be retiring.
That's Deepa Kelja short on a 3. Bridget Herlihy was there to defend, and they'll say it's Wildcat basketball. Villanova, Christine, they had a season best +6 turnover margin against the Big East on Friday against Marquette. They really took care of the ball well.
And that's really what it comes down to for this Villanova Wildcat basketball squad, is if they take good care of the basketball and they can hit 8 or 9 threes per game, that's the formula for Harry Peretta's success.
That's Raven James on a triple as Villanova takes a 3-point lead. Sonia Morris tries to answer, and Cameron Onken snares the rebound. DePaul is 0 for 6 from three-point land to start today.
And you see Villanova, they are very happy to get into their half-court set As you see that big push there for Mary Gadeka, the large crowd here at the Finn did not like that one. Obviously, incidental contact, trying to fight for position, nothing malicious, just got a little tangled, but the people sitting behind us, they did not like that one.
Little shove by DePaul. Gets called for the personal. Mary Gadeka crashes inside. Shantae Stonewall gets the rebound.
And what a game Mary Gadeka had on Friday. She just took over when Maddie Segrist picked up those early 2 fouls.
And Villanova really held a high-powered Marquette team in check as Sonia Morris missed the runner. And Villanova takes the rebound attempt from DePaul right away as Maddie Segrist has the loose change.
We talked a lot about Bridget Herlihy and her offense as of late, but she's been blocking shots her whole career as well.
How about Bridget Herlihy? She shot the ball very well as of late, really having a terrific senior season.
And if Villanova can get a little bit of a lead and then they can slow DePaul down a little bit, at least in their own half-court set, then teams start to press. Teams that want to go fast and go up and down the court start to press a little.
Shantae Stonewall no good there, and Villanova leads by 5. Bridget Herlihy had a big game against Marquette on Friday, Christine. She had 18 points and shot it well.
Yeah, she was phenomenal. Again, she and Mary Gadeka just took over when Segrist went out. But again, for Villanova, you're seeing them crash the boards on the defensive end, and it's all white shirts.
Kelly Campbell able to knock it away. Sometimes doesn't get the attention she deserves. Talking with Doug Bruno yesterday. She had another triple-double this season because she shares the ball so well and doesn't put up big scoring numbers. I think sometimes forget about people about Kelly Campbell.
I think you're right. I mean, she still averages over 8 points per game. How funny is that, you're overlooked at that in a starting lineup?
There's a three-pointer for Cam Onken as Villanova on a 10-0 run as they are just killing it from three-point range. The Wildcats are 3 of 3 from downtown to start this afternoon's ball game. There's a step back. That's short for Kelly Campbell, but she's a good rebounder, and that one's good. Kelly Campbell drains it.
And anytime you have a great shooting team like DePaul and you give them a second chance opportunity, they're going to make you pay for it.
And this is what DePaul does. They turn people over. They turn garbage into gold off the window for Shantae Stonewall.
And that's just great stick-to-itiveness there by DePaul. Nobody came down to help. It was a 2-on-1, almost looked like a drill in practice, and got to put a body on and push back.
Maya Stovall into the game for DePaul. The Demons average 11.5 steals per game. Maddie Segrist down low. She has 8 today.
And every time Maddie Segrist makes a basket, she's clapping her hands, she's pumping her fists. She is into this game.
It's a fast pace that DePaul plays every year as Maddie Segrist knocks it away. Brooke Mullen will come in for Villanova to replace Mary Gadeka.
And when you see Villanova with this early scoring output, it's really been a lot of those glue players. You see Onken hitting a couple of threes. You see James hitting a 3. So when those other players besides the big 3 for Villanova are giving you some offense, that's when they're most balanced.
Can DePaul hit their first 3? You betcha. That's Deja Church, the Michigan transfer, who buries her 24th 3 of the year. DePaul is number 2 in the country in threes per game at 11 per contest.
They just become so hard to guard because anybody on the floor can pop out and shoot a three-point shot. So you have to play honest. You can't sink too low. You have to close out on the perimeter, and you have to play everybody straight up.
DePaul has forced 20 turnovers or more against the Big East 10 times, including the last 3. Here's the little reverse play for DePaul. Nice move. Final minute of the opening quarter as Bridget Herlihy races the ball down court to find Maddie Segrist. Can Villanova keep up their hot shooting? It's poked away. Nicely done by Maya Stovall. Her game has come up big as of late at a career-high 11 points in the win at Georgetown Friday night.
That DePaul defense is getting a lot of hands-on balls. Villanova bobbling it, and DePaul just being strong with the basketball.
Excellent job by Maddie Segrist to read the pick and roll to knock it away. And a 1-point advantage for Villanova, looking for their 16th win of the year. Frankly, they've overachieved, according to Harry Peretta, Christine.
Yeah, I mean, he said he thought they might get between 8 and 12 wins this season, so they have overachieved greatly. in Harry Paretta's eyes. I mean, like you said, the offense coming together, their defense has been good. Yes, they've turned it over a little bit more, but he's thrilled right now, and he just is thankful for the kids. He said, I'm happy for them. I've had 42 years, of a lot of winning seasons, but it's really about the kids.
You have to be careful. Already 6 turnovers for Villanova. Nice block that time by Deja Church as she snuffs Bridget Hurley in the final seconds. DePaul ran into Villanova getting back, and that will end an entertaining first quarter. Villanova 20, DePaul 19. The Blue Demons have just 1 triple, while the Wildcats have knocked down 3 from beyond the arc. And Villanova has the early lead on the mighty Blue Demons here in the Philly area.
You're watching Villanova Women's Basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
We're all in, all together. Great voices ready to start, great energy. We're getting excited about what we do, all right? You know how together you are. You know how hard you're going to work, but you also know how good you are. Let's go show them. 1, 2, 3. Together!
This is our time.
When we bring it together, and we all locked in, we coming back in this locker room with a victory.
That's the Big East way. The 2020 Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
Villanova with 50% shooting so far today, Christine. But if you look at what DePaul has done against the Big East this season, 15-1 overall, you would think that they're just out-shooting everybody. Not the case. Opponents are out-shooting DePaul in conference play this year, but the big difference is, we've spoken about it, the turnover margin. DePaul is plus 115 in terms of turnover margin against the conference this year. Villanova is minus 31. Teams can shoot well against DePaul, but Doug Bruno told us yesterday, it's that high-risk system. They're going to give up baskets, but it's worth it because they create havoc on the other end.
Yeah, and when you see those numbers that were just on the screen, Villanova turning it over a little too much. DePaul not shooting well from 3, only 1 for 8 right now, but Villanova shooting 75%, 3 of 4 from the three-point line, and that's been the difference. But again, it's only a 1-point differential, and it's been DePaul's ability to turn Villanova over, but then convert baskets on those turnovers.
It's incredible. You look at one box score to the next, 27 points off turnovers, 22 points off turnovers for DePaul each and every night. They really get in your face even more than some other great DePaul teams. Crashing and getting to the line that time is DePaul. Her game has gotten better. The junior out of Ohio will go to the line.
Well, they come at you from every angle. Like we said, all 5 players can shoot the 3. All 5 players can put the ball on the bounce. They are such a balanced team, which, again, having 4 out of the 5 starters averaging double figures, anyone can step up on any given night.
DePaul's a good free throw shooting team, 78%. That's 7th best in the country and number 1 in the Big East as DePaul lines up 69% at the line as she splits a pair, and we're tied at 20. There's that full court press. It's the high-risk system that Doug Bruno runs every year, and it almost worked again.
Well, they try to wear you down, and even if you hang with them for a while, eventually they just try to wear you down.
There's Maddie Segrist who lines up a 3, and DePaul will quickly move it up into the front court because they know how to score it big time. Deja Church off the bounce. Maddie Segrist was there to defend. And different players can handle the ball, Christine, because Harry Peretta recruits that versatile player.
Well, they're so fundamental. He teaches fundamentals. They work on the little things, and that's why they become such intelligent basketball players. So many of his players go on and become coaches at different levels because they know the game.
How about Kim Onken making her way inside?
She is really making the most here at the end of her last season with Villanova. She has just done it all in the last few weekends.
Deja Church misses a 3 as the Demons are just 1 of 9 from downtown, and Maddie Segrist already with 10 points today.
And what a great decision there by Maddie Segrist. Most players would have put the ball on the floor and continued onto the rim, but she had the height advantage and she was confident in her shot.
How about Cam Onken, has been an active defender this season.
Yeah, she's really done a lot of things for this Villanova basketball squad, and Harry Peretta talking so highly of her. He said, I want her to shoot the ball. She's a great defender. It's just, does she have that confidence? And we've seen that as of late.
Dee Bekelja checks out, as we'll see Lexi held on the spin move but can't convert.
No weak side rebound there for DePaul, and that's one of those weaknesses. When you play those perimeter offenses, when you have a lot of 5 outs or 4 out, 1 in, there's not a lot of rebounding opportunities on the short balls.
Lexi held 0 for her first 4 today from the field. Villanova tries the back door but missed it. Brooke Mullen will find Mary Gadeka with only 8 left to shoot. There's the closeout on DePaul. They knock it away.
Yeah, paying a lot of attention to Mary Gadeka, especially after her performance on Friday night, but Villanova wants to get her going a little bit too.
Here's the pull up for Sonia Morris as it rims out. Just 1 of 5 shooting in the early going for Sonia Morris, who's just been on fire. She had those big games early in the season, 29 points each against Notre Dame and Oregon State.
And you forget how young she is. She's only a sophomore, and she's doing some great things. Again, had 30 points against Villanova the last time out. Really put on an offensive display.
I think she's an All-Big East first teamer, and Shantae Stonewall, and maybe Kelly Campbell too. It might be all DePaul players. Does this bucket count here? Maddie Segrist foul before the bucket, it would appear.
And here you just see the great position that Maddie Segrist is able to get. She was riding her high and forcing her to come over the top.
First foul on Lexi Held, no bucket. Villanova still has it, leading by 4. With Christine Mata, I'm Nick Montagna. Great to have you with us as Cameron Onken called for the walk.
And it's those unforced errors for Villanova, like what you just saw there. There was no DePaul defender causing that. It was just a shuffle of the feet, and those are the possessions that you cannot afford to give to such a high-powered offense in DePaul.
DePaul has the number 3 turnover margin in the country, plus 8 per game, 9th in the country, forcing 21 turnovers per game. You can't give them free possessions. Villanova's getting bailed out because DePaul has struggled from the field early on.
And what a great box out there by Raven James, the smallest player on the floor, but she was the reason why Villanova was able to secure that basketball.
Shantae Stonewall and Maddie Segrist each have 10 points for their respective teams. Just 13 left to shoot for Villanova as they feed it into the post. A double coming on Maddie Segrist. Running out of time is Villanova. Bridget Herlihy hoists a 3. Mary Gadeka cashes in off the window.
Mary Gadeka just kind of putting her hands up in the air like, okay, I'll take it. Wasn't exactly what I would have drawn up, but I'll take the bucket.
That's her first bucket of the game, number 5 scorer in the Big East. She's top 10 in Villanova scoring with over 1,400 points in her career.
Yeah, she's been unbelievable for this Villanova squad. Just like her mom, their numbers are actually very, very similar when you look at it. But when you talk about Mary Gadeka, you think about her footwork, her ability to play with her back to the basket. She can go either way. She can hit the 3. And it's just that intelligence that she plays with. Even there, being in the right place at the right time, getting good position, and she gets a bucket out of it.
Mom had over 1,600 points, Christine. I think it'll be tough to catch her.
And she's getting close.
Kenzie Garther into the game. She's able to get a piece of the ball as Maya Stovall was handling. And she'll take a seat on the bench and replaced by Deja Church. Villanova has the ball, and DePaul will press as usual. This is a Doug Bruno staple. Caught in the backcourt. Multiple players can handle the ball, so Villanova knows how to break it quite well. Bridget Herlihy goes right to the basket, and DePaul comes away with loose change.
And why it's so effective, I mean, they basically match up full court, but when the ball gets close, then they double.
There's a 3 for Lexi Held. And DePaul has struggled, just 1 of 10 from downtown.
And Villanova's really going to want to get a good offensive set here before that next media timeout.
The Wildcats don't get enough credit for their defense. #1 scoring defense, but #1 field goal defense. Over the last 4, teams are shooting just 32% against Villanova. And their offense has gelled, as we talked about. Only 5 left to shoot. Pick and roll. Cam Monken. Here's the kick out. Maddie Segrist. And Villanova gets a fresh shot clock. 20 on the reset, however.
That was great two-man basketball between Gadeka and Onken, and that comes from being a veteran, and you hear the applause from the Finn, really appreciating the effort of trying to get that extra possession.
A 6-0 spurt for Villanova as they lead it by 6. They've shot the ball very well. Mary Gadeka. They call it travel. Don't count the basket.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I thought she kept her pivot foot down and she was still dribbling. She still had the ball on the floor while she was establishing her feet. And you can see her, she gives the half turn. That is not a travel. That's establishing your pivot foot. Definitely disagree with that one.
The fans don't like the call. Shantae Stonewall fires a 3. Cam Monken boxes out Kelly Campbell. 2 very similar, powerful guards. And just 1 of 11 as we get a timeout. Villanova leading it by 6. The final regular season home affair for Harry Beretta. Villanova is on top.
You're watching Villanova women's basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
All right, we gotta be all in, all right? We gotta make sure we play with great passion. You have felt each other and helped each other and allowed yourselves to be helped with that. All right, we've got a great opportunity to do that today.
This is who we are.
When you look to your left and you see your sister over there, you help her. Because what we are one. Let's bring it.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
That's the Big East way. The 2020 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
What is a Villanovan in 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
26-20 lead. Get this kid a scholarship, friends. My man just wins a big screen TV here at the promotion during the break. How about that, Christine?
Well, that was some great form, great follow through. Nothing but net for that gentleman. The Finn erupted. That was awesome.
Fans, the Big East Women's Basketball Tournament presented by Jeep returns to Wintrust Arena in downtown Chicago, March 6th to the 9th. All session tickets for the 2020 conference tournament are now on sale, starting at just $50. For tickets, head on over to bigeast.com/WBB tickets. Will DeCat dancing with the cheerleaders. And Christine, Harry Beretta has just had a marvelous career, hasn't he?
It's unbelievable when you think of, he's been coaching as long as I've been alive. So, I've known him for 30 years, and I just think what he's done to impact people's lives. And you talk about all of these basketball highlights, but he's also graduated 99% of his players.
He's one of 4 Big East coaches with over 300 conference wins. Jim Boeheim, Gino Auriemma, and Jim Calhoun are the other 3. A chance Villanova makes the women's NIT. They might get another home game. Villanova tried to knock it away. Instead, they're called for the foul. Bridget Herlihy.
Yeah, DePaul really trying to get something going here in the second quarter. They have not scored yet in this quarter. They're 0 for 7. Their only point coming from the free throw line.
A 6-1 edge for Villanova. And we'll get another inbound for DePaul, as both teams have been very active defensively, but Villanova has found early offense at times, and DePaul has struggled from beyond the arc, normally a staple. Can they establish something inside? There's Sonia Morris. Kenzie Gardler knocked it away. Deja Church is fouled going up for the basket.
And just no Villanova players in the correct position when that shot originally went up, and then Bridget Herlihy trying to block that shot but kind of mistimed her jump.
We'll see Deja Church at the free throw line, an exceptional free throw shooter, 82%, one of the best in the conference as she hits the first.
Yeah, she's had a phenomenal year. She's averaging almost 11 points per game, but it's really just been the way she's been able to help spread the floor. She's been so consistent for this DePaul team.
3 of 4 at the stripe as she makes both for DePaul at the free throw line today. 2 years at Michigan for Deja Church. Went to 2 NCAA tournaments with Kim Barnes-Arico. Got to play with the great Caitlin Flaherty a few years back. Here's Kenzie Gardler, the redshirt freshman guard for Villanova. Everybody on Villanova has gotten better throughout the season, Christine, correct?
And well, that's what Harry Preda talked a lot about. He said the improvement individually and the work they've put in, and then the chemistry. He was really impressed with the team chemistry this season.
There's Maddie Segrist off the window.
She's just so tough to guard. I mean, she has the height advantage, but it's when you get caught behind, she can just turn around and face and shoot over right now with that matchup.
Here's Sonia Morris. She pulls up and cashes in for 2. 4 points for Sonia Morris on her second bucket. And we have a foul, it looks like.
Yeah, great job by Onken to draw that foul.
First foul on Shantae Stonewall. Already 9 points for Cameron Onken on 2 of 2 from downtown.
Yeah, playing an all-around solid game. I mean, she almost has a double-double, and then she's kind of on her way almost to a triple-double.
Look what she's done. Her last 3 home games entering today, she's 8 of 15 from three-point range. She struggled on the road, but doing really well here in the Finn.
And then that's something else that Coach Preda talked a lot about. He said, you know, she's taken a ton of threes, wasn't making them early, and now it's like she's got that confidence, and she's shooting over 50%.
Villanova has to be careful. That's their 11th turnover as DePaul quickly down court. Sonia Morris, no good. Deja Church. And a fresh 20 seconds on the new rule. Nice move off the dribble by Lexi Hell, but left it short.
Yeah, DePaul just keeps coming at you. I mean, it's such a fast pace and fun game to watch, but you can never take a break against them.
Lexi Held is 0 for 7 from the field as Cam Onken floats it into the post for Maddie Segrist, who scores on the high-low.
DePaul's going to have to make that adjustment. When Villanova's the 4-out, 1-in, and it's Maddie Segrist, they have gotten that lob a few times. They need some weak side help.
14 points for Maddie Segrist. Kelly Campbell has been the #1 three-point shooter in the Big East at 44%. But again, the struggles continuing for the visitors. Just 1 of 12 from beyond the arc.
And it's hard because you want to help on the weak side, so you want to sink in a little bit, but then you're leaving a perimeter shooter out.
Villanova has fared better at home through the years against DePaul than on the road. They've had very competitive games, and they've won a fair amount of them here at home. It's DePaul with 6 wins in games at Villanova and 4 victories for Villanova when they've met up here in Philly.
Yeah, Lexi Held getting called for that hold. I see held. There you go.
Very nice, Christine. I like your style. Second personal on Lexi. She'll have to go to the bench. As Maya Stovall getting a lot of minutes. Doug Bruno has been very impressed with her game. 9 left to shoot into the middle. Mary Gadeka fires in a 3.
And there's that chemistry we're talking about. Maddie Segrist knew exactly what she was going to do with that ball before she even landed on her feet.
That's 4 of 8 from downtown shooting today for Villanova. Off the dribble, Deepa Kelja uses the glass.
Just great recognition and a great job turning the corner to explode to the rim.
And a traveling call on Cam Onken. That pressure can really get to you mentally.
Well, I mean, you're making a run, you're starting to get some separation, up 7, and then you turn it over in the backcourt.
That's the 12th turnover, and this is what can get out of hands. Teams have shot well against DePaul, but they turn it over, and just like that, DePaul cashes in.
Yeah, and there's that swing right there. You give another opportunity, and DePaul, again, just keeps coming at you.
That's how DePaul has gotten it done through the years, but most notably this season. They really take advantage of points off turnovers in games where teams are actually playing pretty well. Georgetown shot well. A number of teams in the past few weeks have done well making their shots, but they turn it over a ton. And DePaul will make you pay. Cameron Onken just rimmed out, and the rebound falls to DePaul.
And we talked a lot about Villanova doing a great job on the defensive boards, but offensively there, not a lot of white shirts getting to the rim.
Deja Church draws the foul as she looks to get to the line again.
You know, the possession before when Stonewall got that second chance opportunity, I mean, she's having a fantastic game. And I just think the combination of the inside-outside game for DePaul right now, again, they do shoot a lot of perimeter shots, but they're putting the ball on the floor and they're getting to the rim.
34 starts last year at Michigan for Deja Church, a 75% free throw shooter, lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament at Louisville. Nice addition. Got the waiver, granted immediate eligibility, which I like to see for players in women's basketball. It's happening more and more, isn't it, Christine?
It is. I mean, I think they're realizing some of the reasons why some of these players are doing the things they're doing. And Harry Prada talked about that as well, about, you know, the transfer rule and how they're thinking about not having players sit out and how that in the long run he feels it might be a good thing, but you know, we'll have to see where it goes from here.
It happens in a lot of the other sports. People are calling for it to happen in all the sports, frankly. Here's Maddie Segrist down low. She missed all of last year with an injury, and she's having a fantastic redshirt freshman season, over 19 points per game. Better defense by DePaul that time. Sonia Morris gets the kick out. Short on a three is DePaul. 28 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, Villanova will work this shot clock down and take the last shot.
A 13-11 second quarter for Villanova. They hung in there pretty well for a little while in Chicago in the first meeting, but DePaul really got going and eventually took down the Wildcats thanks to Sonia Morris's big day and Lexi Held. Only 4 seconds left. It's Mary Gadeka against the double team, off the mark, and that will bring us to halftime. Villanova 33 and DePaul 30 as Maddie Segrist has a game-high 14 and Shante Stonewall has 12 in the final regular season home game for Harry Peretta. It's Villanova looking for a huge win there this afternoon.
You're watching DePaul Ball on the Big East Digital Network.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
What is a Villanovan in 30 seconds? Well, Villanovan's aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
The Big East Weekly Awards are out. DePaul ended that first half on a 6-0 run, and we should have quite the Big East tournament set up. Tatum Rembow is back and healthy for Jim Flannery for Creighton. Christine, she had 20 points in the win over Seton Hall last week, hit 5 of 5 from downtown, followed up with 21 points against St. John's. It's good to have her back in a Creighton uniform.
So fun to watch. She's such a great all-around player. She really helps that Creighton team just go up another level. And then we were able to see Cameron Taylor on Friday night, and what a game she had as well. Marquette losing that game, but just a phenomenal freshman. And you know the league is in good hands with these young players around the conference.
The Big East honor roll for this week features a couple of our players today. And Bridget Herlihy, last weekend, 15 points at Georgetown, and Shante Stonewall, who averaged 16 points per game last week.
Yeah, and they're putting a display on here as well. You look at Geary from Providence, as well as Hoppy, who's had a great season this year and last year, just continuing her consistent play. And then Spingola from Marquette, we got to see her on Friday night as well. So again, the league is in such great hands. I think when you talk about that Marquette team and all they lost and then what they've been able to do, teams are reloading. They're not so much rebuilding, they're really reloading, at least in the top half of this conference.
Providence got the big win over St. John's last weekend, and Alyssa Geary had 10 points in the victory. So halftime at Finner Pavilion, Villanova holding on to a 3-point lead. It's been Villanova off to a flying start. 4 threes on the afternoon. DePaul has just 1 triple. As we'll take another break here on the Big East Digital Network.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead. We got to raise it up.
We're all in, all together. Great voices ready to start, great energy. We're getting excited about what we do, all right? You know how together you are. You know how hard you're going to work, but you also know how good you are. Let's go show them. 1, 2, 3.
Together!
This is our time.
When we bring it together and we all locked in, we coming back in this locker room with a victory.
That's the Big East way. The 2020 Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
Fans, as we've said, this season is the final campaign for legendary Villanova head coach Harry Perretta, who is retiring after 42 years on the Wildcat bench. Part of Peretta's legacy has been the family ties of his program, and of course no better exemplified than by Mary and Lisa Gadeka.
Everyone always assumed that I was going to come to Villanova, and obviously Villanova has always been a home to me because I grew up here basically coming to games and knowing Harry. I was comfortable coming in and being recruited here at a pretty young age. At the end of the day, obviously it was my decision and I knew I wanted to come here.
When we saw her from her junior to her senior year is when we knew for sure. But her sophomore to junior year, she started doing stuff and we were like, whoa, this kid's a little better than we think she is.
Not knocking my other kids, but I pretty much could tell by age 4 and 5, okay, not real athletic. Mary was always tough, coordinated, and she was taller than everybody else. And then I think high school. I think once we got into high school and she had to learn how to work hard, I thought, you know, she could play at a level. I just never thought it would be here or at this level.
For me personally, I actually ran Harry's offense in high school, so I had a little bit of an advantage coming in surprise.
Most high school teams aren't going to run that kind of system. To get a player from a program that one of my former players coaches, whether it's Lisa or anybody else, is a big home run for us because that kid comes in already ahead of the other kids that are coming in with her.
I think just understanding that Harry and the other coaches obviously foster such a relationship and an environment based on not only athletics but academics, and understanding that we are student athletes. They always have our backs no matter what the situation is, and they're always there for us both on and off the court.
She's just a representation of what we're trying to teach here. We're trying to teach, first of all, be a student, and then second of all, be an athlete, and then when you're an athlete, try to play unselfish basketball in a system where you're going to be asked to do many things, so you have to evolve your game.
I think the benefit for playing in our offense is that we have so much freedom. I mean, obviously we do have a set where they'll tell us to run a specific number, but you know, if that look isn't open, we can do something else.
Lisa was the most intense player maybe in the history of this program. So in some ways I'm happy she doesn't have all of her mother's characteristics, but she has a lot of her mother's characteristics in terms of her tenacity, her playing hard, her mobility, and just her knowledge of the game that Lisa gave her coming into here.
I think her toughness, her will to want to win, she's very unselfish, and I think her goal is she doesn't care how many points she scores. If she scores 30 and win, great. If she scores 2 and we win, great. That never changes, and I always was like that as a player also.
They're hard workers. They're very loyal to the program. They're loyal to the school. They're natural recruiters for us. They are most indicative of the people that we try to get here.
Join the conversation with #BigEastWBB.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Three other games to tip off shortly in Big East Conference action this afternoon. And folks, the Big East Fast Break is the weekly women's basketball show hosted by Megan Caffrey and Ashley Leotis, breaking down everything in Big East women's hoops. You can catch all new episodes of Fast Break during the season every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. on the Big East Twitter and YouTube pages. On this week's show, Megan caught up with DePaul senior Shante Stonewall after the Blue Demons clinched the share of another Big East regular season title.
For the sixth time in the last 7 years, the DePaul Blue Demons have won at least a share of the Big East basketball regular season title, as I'm now joined with senior forward Shante Stonewall. Shante, your team clinched at least a share of the regular season title in your final home game as a DePaul Blue Demon. How special was that moment for you?
It was super special, and to be able to do that on our senior night just meant the world to Kelly and I.
You just mentioned Kelly Campbell right there. You and Kelly are the only two seniors on this year's squad. How would you describe your relationship with Kelly?
Oh, it's great. It's definitely come a long way from being competitors our freshman year, trying to find our place here at DePaul, to being kind of like a dynamic duo on the court. It's been great, and it's awesome to see how she developed and I developed, and just we're super excited for the rest of our season. We definitely want to lead by example for our younger ladies. We're definitely verbal when it comes to making sure they understand what DePaul ball is all about, and I feel like we've done a good job by teaching them.
In your 3 of your 4 years at DePaul, your team has won at least a share of the regular season title. How is this program, able to perform at such a high level so consistently?
I feel like our coaches do a great job making sure that we compete in practice. Also, we are very educated about our tradition here at our program, and that we are walking in a legacy or setting legacies for players after us. So I feel like we do a good job of reminding each other of what DePaul ball is all about. Setting goals every year is another big key of ours, and just making sure that we're focused every game and making sure that we execute every game.
Shante, you mentioned it a few times now, so I have to ask you, DePaul ball. Big East women's basketball fans know what DePaul ball is, but what's your favorite part about DePaul ball?
When I was being recruited, I always said the pace, not really truly understanding what that meant. It's a lot of up and down, very entertaining for outsiders to watch. It's definitely like an up and down kind of basketball style. Freelance offense, you have the greenest light in America. Very fun to watch and very fun to play as well.
As a freshman, you averaged 5.4 points per game. Now as a senior, you lead your team in scoring, averaging 17.4 points per game. Where has been your biggest area of growth in your game?
I would say just being able to read the defense, using my versatility to the maximum, finding myself in the right places, and continuing to run the floor. As you see when I play, I'm a very up and down player. So being able to get in shape, stay in shape. My fitness takes me a long way, and like I said, go back to my versatility, using all aspects of my game, whether that's a jump shot, playing with my back to the basket, being able to put the ball on the floor. Bruno has helped me develop my game a lot, and so I'm just here to show it off my senior year.
You are an Illinois native yourself. You're from Normal, Illinois. What has the experience been like being able to play college basketball in your hometown city?
It's wild. Like you mentioned, Normal is not even 2 hours away from Chicago. So I definitely have a strong support system. Growing up, they always said, you're going to do big things on the next level, speaking regarding college. So it was great to see how all my past supporters still support me to this day. I definitely go back to my high school every opportunity I get just to give back, to talk to old professors, talk to my high school coach, because they definitely had an impact on me growing up.
You deep dish pizza type of girl?
No, not a huge fan of deep dish.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you have to let all of us know, if we're not going to get Chicago deep dish, then what is a Chicago must eat?
Ooh. We have pre-game Bonas. That's really good. Post-game, you know what? Illuminati's, they have really good wings, so I will go with that for sure.
All right. What type of wings are we doing? We doing boneless barbecue, or are you doing a little buffalo?
Boneless barbecue wings for sure.
Barbecue, my type of girl. I love it. Shantae, thank you so much for joining me. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Big cities, big names, big legacies, big sisters and brothers, big ideas, big expectations, big stage, big results. That's the Big East way.
Villanova leads DePaul 33-30. 4 straight wins against Villanova for the Blue Demons, but over the last 3, Villanova has outshot DePaul 2 of the last 3 times. Last year, it took overtime for DePaul to win here, Christine. They only shot 31%. They escaped in overtime thanks to Marte Grace. Today, DePaul's shooting just 31%.
Yeah, and 20% in that second quarter, so they should be thankful to only be down 3. But if you look at the stats, what's really killing Villanova, they would be up by much, much more if they didn't have those 12 turnovers. DePaul taking much better care of the basketball. Unheard of to see DePaul 1 for 13 from 3. Villanova shooting the ball well, but those turnovers are going to come back to bite them. They need to clean that up in the second half if they want to hold on to this lead.
17 times this year, the Blue Demons have double-figure three-pointers made. Can they catch up? Villanova's not out shooting them per se in terms of volume threes, but the Wildcats have obviously shot a better percentage from downtown at 4 of 9. But the Cats are winning the rebound battle, and Villanova's also winning points in the paint.
They are, and then DePaul has 10 points off of those 12 turnovers for Villanova. So if they could clean up and value the basketball, continue to dominate those boards, they're hoping they can hang on and keep slowing DePaul down.
If you're Doug Bruno, do you really make it ugly, really ramp up the pressure?
Yeah, you ramp up the pressure, but really, I mean, you keep doing what you're doing because for DePaul, those shots are going to start to fall. They're not going to shoot 1 for 13 from 3 again in the second half.
With Christine Mana and our great crew, I'm Nick Montaigne. Great to have you with us. Just one weekend left after this as Deja Church gets the steal. Talk about turning garbage into gold. Almost there for Deja Church.
Yeah, and just what we were talking about, taking care of the basketball, and on the very first possession, Villanova turns it over.
It's incredible. There's the quick trigger, and finally there's one for Lexi Held, her first bucket of the day.
When you have a great shooting team like DePaul is, it is hard to hold them to bad shooting for 2 consecutive halves. You know that their shots are going to start to fall, so Villanova has to have really good possessions.
Harry Peretta, when we spoke with him yesterday, Christine, he said Doug Bruno's the best teacher of basketball in the world. That's what they do. There's Maddie Segrist, first bucket for Villanova here to start the half. 16 points for the terrific freshman.
He did. He said not just in the country, in the world, and he joked that his son Michael, he wanted to send him to Chicago during his junior and senior years of high school so he, for 1 week, could just teach him the offensive fundamentals of basketball. He's like, he could teach him more in a week than I could teach him in years.
Sonia Morris able to get that second chance opportunity and a drive to the bucket as DePaul will try to get to the line because the shots aren't falling. They make their foul shots. Number 7 in the country, and Lexi Held able to crash there. And they're number 15 in the country in offensive rebounds per game, but Held misses the first.
And you can see what DePaul's doing. They are trying to really force the issue. They're trying to get the ball in the bounce. They know they're not shooting it great, so they're trying to get to the rim, draw some contact, and create some points from the free throw line.
71% at the stripe for Lexi Held as she makes the second. As Bridget Herlihy will leave the game.
When you're a team that gives a lot of pressure, even when you're not shooting well, what you're doing is trying to make other teams play ugly as well and cause some chaos.
That's the third personal foul on Bridget Herlihy, a valuable piece for Harry Peretta in a season where they don't have a lot of depth. Yes, we'll see Brooke Mullen, the true freshman. Harry Peretta has had to play here because of a lot of injuries. He normally redshirts most of his players through the years. Here's Raven James. Nice shot fake inside. Maddie Siegrist just missed it, looking for a foul.
Yeah, I think she got pulled a little bit too far underneath the basket there and didn't realize where she was.
There's Kelly Campbell, number 1 3-point shooter, percentage-wise, 44%, but can't hit it.
But that's what Villanova needs to keep doing. They need to keep dominating those defensive boards, try to hold DePaul to one-and-dones.
And slow down their press, essentially. And make it their sort of style. That's how Villanova wins a lot of ball games through the years. For Harry Peretta, Cam Onken, no good on a 3. And DePaul off and running again. 85 points per game, number 2 scoring team in the country, only behind Oregon.
Yeah, Raven James there and Morris going at it a little bit on that bounce, and a little stare down from each player afterwards as well. Got to love the competition and competitiveness of these players.
Arkansas, Baylor, South Carolina are the other top scoring teams in the country. Off the inbound, Lexi Held cashes in.
And that's a miscommunication there between James and Onken, you know, and those underneath the basket out of bounds plays, you know, those are things you go over in the scouting report and you pretty much know most of the plays for the other team. So just a miscommunication on what they were doing there.
Quickly, 5 points for Lexi Held. As we're all tied at 35, Mary Gadeka goes inside. She has 7 points this afternoon.
What a great job by Mary Gadeka to gather herself. The pass was leading her a little bit too far, but she was able to gather her feet and get that up under control.
Averaging nearly 18 points per game against the conference this year is Mary Gadeka, as Kelly Campbell got the rebound off the Shantae Stonewall miss. New 20-second reset in college basketball for this season. No problem with DePaul. They go quick anyway. Turnaround for Deja Church is short, and a third opportunity for the Blue Demons.
And this is tough on your defense. Now you're playing consecutive shot clocks of defense.
There's the fadeaway. Lexi Held heating up here in the third quarter.
Pretty much every time we've seen DePaul get at least a third chance opportunity, they have scored.
All Big East freshman team pick last year for Lexi Held, a terrific three-point shooter. There's a 3 that's off the mark for Brooke Mullen, and Sonia Morris quickly charges down court, and Raven James gets back nicely. Shantae Stonewall.
I think if you're Villanova, you want to slow it down on this offensive set, work the basketball, see what you have.
Mary Gadeka on the back end for 2.
But if DePaul is going to be late getting back on defense, that's something that Doug Bruno is not happy about right now on the sideline, that Villanova and Mary Gadeka beat his team, who's known for getting up and down the floor, all the way down.
But Doug Bruno did tell us yesterday that's that high-risk style that he plays year to year. When you do press, you could get burnt on the back end, essentially.
And you can at times, but that seemed more like an effort thing there that just wasn't hustling down the floor, and that's why he was a little upset with his team, and you see him pulling some kids in and out.
Maya Stovall and Dee Bekelja each re-enter. Another one. Cam Onken finds Mary Gadeka on the fast break and 1.
That is the genius of 42 years of coaching of Harry Peretta. He realizes they're fronting all the players on the pressure. He said, you know what, we're going to release like a wide receiver because they don't have a safety back. They're playing everything 55, all face guarding man. He said, you know what, we're going to throw one over the top, and look at the emotion from Mary Gadeka.
That was Cam Onken out of Indy looking like Peyton Manning there.
That's a pretty good comparison in that neck of the woods.
And Villanova a 42-37 lead as Mary Gadeka the three-point play.
And what a response from the Wildcats. I mean, DePaul started storming back, and then Villanova able to answer.
That takes a funny carom, but Brooke Mullen has the board.
I mean, you're playing against the 12th ranked team in the country. They make a run. They take, they get evened up with you again. And what do? You respond. You get 2 long balls, and Mary Gadeka with the 1-and-1.
As we get a foul on Kelly Campbell. That's her first. Maya Stovall with 2 fouls. And Lexi Held playing with 2. And, of course, the biggie is Bridget Herlihy on the bench with 3 personals. 20-second shot clock. Maddie Siegrist, catch and score.
What a pass by Raven James. She looked off the defender. That was a no-look lob to Maddie Siegrist, and there actually were 2 players fronting her.
Raven James and Cameron Onken each have 6 dimes today. They've been 2 of the better distributing point guards in the conference this year to feed those 2 post players. Nice spin move, just missing there is Dee Bekelja.
What a great job by Onken to come flying in to secure that rebound.
DePaul able to set up their defense. Villanova running their motion spread under Harry Peretta. You see he's gone to one knee, top left of your screen. And he does that a lot. He's battled a few injuries late in his career, some knee and foot issues. So
well, he usually has a towel under that knee. You know, in his older years, he's put a towel there. I don't know what he's doing going back old school without the towel.
Here's Raven James, throws it up with one left to shoot. Shot clock advantage. And do they have to inbound, play the advantage, or we will get a timeout? Official timeout. 44-37 lead. Villanova on top thanks to a 7-0 run. We'll see if Doug Bruno can figure things out.
You're watching Villanova women's basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
We're all in, all together. Great voices ready to start, great energy. We're getting excited about what we do, all right? You know how together you are. You know how hard you're going to work, but you also know how good you are. Let's go, Storm. 1, 2, 3.
Together!
This is our time.
When we bring it together and we all locked in, we coming back in this locker room with a victory.
That's the Big East way. The 2020 Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be. I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was gonna spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
You're watching Villanova women's basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
Doug Bruno with 719 wins and Harry Peretta with 780 wins. Doug is 11th on the active list. Harry Peretta is 7th. And we talked about the Big East wins. Harry Peretta, a 4-time Big East Coach of the Year.
Well, you look at those names, and everybody knows who those people are. You know, Harry on the women's side, way up there. Gino may take over overall ahead of Jim Boeheim at some point when UConn comes back into the Big East. But it just, again, talks about not only, you know, his style, but the culture that he's built as well. Those are some amazing names on that list.
Here's Shantae Stonewall, won the Big East Tournament Most Outstanding Player Award last year. She had that game-winning drive and won to beat Marquette in the final seconds. What a comeback win that was as DePaul won their second straight Big East Tournament title.
And what great defense there individually by Mary Gadeka, just making that a very difficult shot for Stonewall.
Here's Maddie Segrist inside, the quick double and kick. How about Cam Onken, a terrific rebounder, averaging nearly 7 rebounds per game from the guard position.
Yeah, that's her 13th rebound here today. She has been a monster on the boards.
And that ties her career high, 13 boards for Cameron Onken. Inside again, that high-low, Maddie Segrist puts it in.
Maddie Segrist has been unstoppable down low, but it's been the placement of the passing that has allowed her to get those leading opportunities.
That's her Big East leading 11th double-double of the season for Maddie Segrist and her 14th 20-point game of the season. That's number 1 in the conference. Here's a step back for Maya Stovall, an air ball out of bounds.
And those are the things that start to happen when you press a little bit. DePaul's not shooting the ball well. They've shot the last 2 quarters, in the 20s here, and they're trying to force some shots, but they need to get back to what they were doing in the beginning of this quarter, and that's putting the ball on the ground and trying to get to the rim.
Maddie Siegrist leads the conference with 20-point games. Shante Stonewall right behind her with 12 of those. Another home run pass by Cam Monken. Mary Gadeka is third with 11 20-point games, as she did on Friday night against Marquette.
And this is something that Villanova does. You see how they can hold their dribble out there, they can back you in, and then all of a sudden they attack.
The composure for Villanova has improved throughout the season with a younger group. It's knocked away by Kelly Campbell. 216 steals, just outside the top 10, 4th in school history in assists for Kelly Campbell, over 1,000 points. There's Cam Monken. Harry Peretta called her one of the better guards in the Big East. There's a 3, called a long 2 for Brooke Mullen as the time clock expires.
She had that wide open 3 on the left side and wasn't able to knock it down, but they're a very important shot as the clock was winding down.
That's an 11-0 run for Villanova as it's a foul. Lexi Held is bumped on her shot. It's a 13-2 run over the last 4 minutes plus, and Lexi Held will go back to the line.
Mary Gadeka with a lot of emotion there, kind of saying, hey, this is my senior day. Like, I'm supposed to get that call, not the sophomore.
First personal foul on Mary Gadeka. Each team has 2 fouls in the third quarter. Lexi Held makes both. And DePaul stops the bleeding a little bit. Try and get to the line. That might work for them. Villanova tries to break the trap, and they do quite well.
And Villanova really needs to take care of the basketball in these last 2.5 minutes. Ooh, it looked like she went down on her ankle there for Onken. Hopefully she can get up and walk that off.
They call the foul on Deja Church. That's her first. And the Wildcats will get it back, having a terrific third quarter, outscoring the Blue Demons 15-9. They've hit 7 of their 12 shots here in the quarter, while DePaul is just 3 of 14 from the field to start this second half.
Nobody does a better job of using the shot clock than the Villanova Wildcats.
Nice double team by DePaul, shot clock violation. And that's turnover number 15 for Villanova.
With Raven James, she kind of got caught in the land of the trees down there and tried to make that extra pass, but at that point you just kind of have to go up with it with the shot clock winding down.
Folks, this game is far from over. The way DePaul can score, they can make it up just with a snap of a finger. Shante Stonewall puts it in. 14 points for the senior.
Stonewall was active early, and then Gadeka switched on her and did a really nice job, and now you're starting to see her get hot again.
Raven James going the wrong direction. Can Villanova get it over in time? They do. Almost knocked away by Kelly Campbell, and Maddie Siegrist scores in the fast break.
Again, I love the decision there by Siegrist. Instead of putting the ball on the ground and going to the rim, which you usually want players to do, she has the height advantage and takes the short jump shot.
Second in the Big East in rebounding, number 2 scorer in the Big East as well for Maddie Siegrist. She has 22 points today. Lexi Held from the corner. The threes just aren't dropping today, Christine. The Blue Demons are only 1 of 16 from downtown.
Yeah, it seemed like they actually came a little awkwardly off her hand. Not a lot of rotation on the backspin.
Teams have been shooting well against DePaul this year. The Blue Demons make it up with the turnovers they force, trying to make this game a little bit ugly at times per se. Mary Gadeka misses a 3. 85 points per game this year for DePaul. You see it on the scoreboard.
When Villanova gets up by a little bit against especially a team that's used to scoring a lot, they can just bleed that clock.
And there's Sonia Morris on the drive. Nicely done. Final minute of the third quarter. 6 points on 3 of 10 shooting for Sonia Morris, who had 30 points the first time around against Villanova this season. And Harry Peretta will essentially try to bleed this clock. Here's Cameron Onken, big time skip pass to find Brooke Mullen.
Harry Peretta directed every part of that possession.
What a job there. Final seconds of the third quarter. 3 no good for Lexi Held. Shot won't count there. A big third quarter as Villanova outscores DePaul by 7, which means a 10-point lead as we hit the fourth quarter as Brooke Mullen gives Villanova their 5th 3 of the day. DePaul only has 1 triple. The Wildcats lead it.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead, and we got to raise it up.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders in these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
51% shooting for Villanova. DePaul at just 30%. A big reason why the Wildcats have the lead as we start the fourth quarter. Fans, once again, the Big East Women's Basketball Tournament presented by Jeep returns to Wintrust Arena in downtown Chicago, March 6th to the 9th. All session tickets for the 2020 conference tournament are now on sale, starting at just $50. Again, for tickets, go to bigeast.com/WBB tickets. Maddie Siegrist with their 14th 20-point game, and their Big East leading 11th double-double. Cam Monken has tied her career high with 13 rebounds. With Christine Mata, I'm Nick Montaigne. It's great to have you alongside everyone. Final home regular season game for Harry Peretta, but maybe a WNIT game as well.
Yeah, you don't know, if they get a bid, if they'll be able to host, but this is definitely the last regular season game. You talk about Cameron Onken and senior day and her career high with 13 rebounds, but she also has 9 points and 8 assists. She's flirting with a triple-double here. But how about Villanova? 19 team assists. They are doing it as a team.
How about Sonia Morris? Can't get the roll that time. And a held ball as both teams fight for possession.
And a big possession that is for Villanova. You come out of that break, you get the stop, and then you gain an extra possession.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Sonia Morris with a good drive. It just did not squirt in for her. Bridget Herlihy returns with 3 fouls. Unsettled offense. Maddie Siegrist reverses and scores. She has 24 points today.
See, and that was facilitated through Bridget Herlihy. She's been out with some foul trouble. She's not been able to really get going in this game, but she does it all. She doesn't just score and block shots. She can also facilitate the basketball.
Dee Bakelja will head back to the free throw line. Ed Sidlasky, Ashley Gilpin, Tom Danaher, our officials. As Dee Bakelja is 1 for 2 at the line, has 5 points on the afternoon and 3 rebounds.
And the one thing you don't want to do if you're Villanova is foul on shots, because then you stop that shot clock, you allow DePaul to get some free points from the free throw line. You want to keep this clock moving. You want to keep using the shot clock, play good defense, and get the ball back.
DePaul hit 15 of 18 at the stripe when they beat Villanova earlier this season. Today, the Demons are 9 of 11. As Dee Bakelja at the stripe, former Gatorade Ohio Girls Basketball Player of the Year, as she cans both. And DePaul gets it to a 10-point margin.
And you have to really comprehend what's happening right now, because DePaul averages almost 86 points per game. So Villanova holding them to 45 as of now is really just such a defensive display.
I was sliding them. I kept saying 85 points per game. You're rounding up. You got it right,
I round
Christine.
up. It's 85-5, so I round up. 5 and over, we go up, my friend.
Yeah. And there's the steal by Sonia Morris, one of the league's most improved players. What a drive all the way to the rack for Sonia Morris. She wanted the foul as well.
And you look at that emotion from Morris. She's like, okay, now it's time. Now it's time for this DePaul squad to make their run. They're 12th in the country for a reason.
Definitely the Big East most improved player, in my opinion. I think she'll win that award, hands down.
She definitely has a good shot at it.
Bridget Hurley guarded by Sonia Morris. Cam Onken, an open three, is an air ball.
Yeah, wide open there. Haven't got many looks like that. Sometimes you're almost too wide open.
Last year, we had a tight one right here at Finner Pavilion. Villanova had a 6-point lead, but Marte Graves had that big three with under a minute left, and the Blue Demons won in overtime. Here's a spin move. Deba Kelja gets two. You feel like that's starting to creep up on you a little bit.
Yeah, Villanova has been dominating the points in the paint, but now again, you see DePaul not shooting the ball well, and they are going to the rim.
There's Cam Onken. DePaul able to speed the pace back up, and there's a three for Raven James. She's 2 of 2 from beyond the arc today.
Been really impressed with James and Onken here. We always talk about the big three with Segrist, Gadeka, and Hurley, but it's been those role players that have really made the difference here today.
Cam Onken and Raven James each have a career-high 8 assists as well, and Shantae Stonewall is fouled, and she'll shoot foul shots. Bridget Hurley called for her 4th personal foul. So one of Villanova's best defenders has to go to the bench. Villanova's players already playing a lot of minutes. This 4th quarter is actually set up pretty well for DePaul for a comeback.
Yeah, we saw on Friday night, Maddie Segrist picking up those early fouls, was never able to get going, and now that's happening to Bridget Hurley today. She's still pleading her case and thought that she, kind of got her hands back and was slammed into. But right now, DePaul making this thing very interesting. Can Villanova hold on?
78% at the line for Shantae Stonewall, who makes a pair. One of the best all-around players in the conference. As Doug Bruno has told us, Shantae Stonewall's worked hard on her defense, her all-around game. That's why she's become that versatile player.
See what Onken did there? She was getting trapped right before she crossed half court. And what did she do? She backed up and then attacked one. That's textbook of how to attack the trap.
Villanova trying to pick and pop inside their motion offense. Mary Gadeka gets the roll.
You know she's getting that roll on senior night.
14 points for the senior. Here's a quick three. Deba Kelja and Cam Onken skies up for a new career high 14 rebounds.
Good decision there to kick it out. They didn't have that advantage, and now they're going to use that shot clock.
When DePaul lost to Creighton, they only hit 4 threes in that game. They have 1 3-pointer today. Maddie Segrist and 1. That's 26 points today for the rookie.
Segrist has absolutely dominated in the paint, but we cannot take for granted the passing. It's been the leading lob passes into Segrist that have been placed perfectly that is allowing her to get those shots off.
I'm not sure that she'll get to 41 points, her career high, but boy, getting to close to 30 is pretty darn good. 27 points, her first trip to the line today, where she's an excellent foul shooter as well at 76%.
And it's showing you, again, of what she's capable of. Only a freshman, and you're playing against the 12th team in the country, and you're raising the level of play even higher.
As Villanova gets the miss again, as DePaul fails to score. And the Wildcats have hit 3 of their last 3 to suddenly make their lead double digits once again.
And this is when, if you're DePaul, I mean, you just want that ball back, and you're going to do everything you can to try to cause some turnovers by Villanova.
From the corner, it's Brooke Mullen. It's short. Cam Onken and company helping for the second chance. That Villanova can bleed more clock. How about Cam Onken? You said it, Christine. 9 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. Inside, Cam Onken has a triple-double for Villanova.
Unbelievable. What a way to go out for Cam Onken. She has just played a great all weekend long.
Kelly Campbell has 2 career triple-doubles. Now Cam Onken matching her. We said they're similar players because they both do a little bit of everything for their respective teams. This is absolute fantastic stuff we're seeing.
Well, we always say, you don't know how kids are going to react on senior day. Some are filled with emotion and they rise their level of play, and some just can't handle it because of the emotions, and you just try too hard. And for Onken, boy, talk about raising her level of play, unreal.
The 3 is short for Deja Church, just 1 of 19 from downtown for DePaul.
And now if you're Villanova, the most important thing for you is to take care of the basketball. You have timeouts left. If you get in trouble, you're trying to make it to the next media timeout.
And Villanova again, a 3-pointer for Raven James. It's a 10-0 run and a steal by Villanova. They're shooting over 60% in the second half.
This is unbelievable. I mean, I know we're celebrating a lot of things here today, and you cannot take away the emotion, the environment, and what is happening out on that court. And it's all because of that man.
Villanova leading big time, a 17-point advantage as Cam Onken with 11 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists for a triple-double.
What is a Villanovan in 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be. I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Maddie Siegrist has tied her career high with 13 field goals made. This is the 8th time this year that she has 10 or more buckets made, and the 4th time that she has exactly 13 shots made. Here's what life was like when Harry Peretta took over, Christine. How much is gas today?
And that's where we show our age, because everybody goes right to worrying about how much gas is. That shows your age right there. But I may or may not have been alive when all of these things were taken care of. But Harry Peretta, I mean, what else can you say about this man? And look at how this team is playing for him. The emotion. He also took his team in 1982 when they were in the AIAW. They made the Final Four as well. It's just success. But you look at some of the history here. You want to start singing some Bee Gees?
No thanks. Not my forte. The Wildcats are staying alive indeed thanks to a 15-8 fourth quarter, a 10-0 run. DePaul hasn't scored in nearly 3 minutes. Suddenly, Villanova put 5 of 6 in the bucket just like that. Incredible shooting numbers, 55%. DePaul just 30% today.
Well, and I think, we're looking at the huddle for DePaul, and I think they're just wondering what the heck is going on here. But again, you can't take away the adrenaline, the emotion, the environment. I mean, this is a packed house. It's been rocking since, 11:30 in the morning. Everybody coming out to celebrate, and they are seeing an unbelievable performance by Harry Peretta's basketball squad.
And Doug Bruno told us in our chat yesterday he's had to face a lot of coaches in their big games when they've been looking for a plateau win.
Yeah, and he's done well in some of them, and he's not done well in some of them. But these two gentlemen are such great friends. Whatever ends up happening, they're going to shake hands, and they're going to continue to be friends off the court as well. 2
Hall of Fame coaches in the eyes of many. Doug Bruno was nominated for the list, just missed, but he's going to make it at some point, and we hope the same for Harry Peretta.
Oh, they'll both be there at some point, absolutely.
Raven James to Brooke Mullen. It's stolen away. Nice work by Kelly Campbell. With over 5 minutes left, is this an opening for DePaul as Sonia Morris is fouled?
And the two things you don't want to do for Villanova, again, is turn the basketball over and foul. That's not the worst thing in the world because that's only the third team foul. But the one thing you do not want to do is put DePaul on the free throw line. And if you're DePaul, you're going to try to be aggressive and attack to try to get to that line.
Here's a step back for Sonia Morris, and Kim Onken building on what's another rebound, her career-high 15th board, and a foul.
You know, and eventually DePaul may need to try to start stopping the clock and foul. That's only their second team foul. They've played a really clean quarter, but they just can't knock down shots.
And Villanova's defense has been rather solid, and Villanova has started to limit the turnovers and not let DePaul run. In fact, Villanova's been able to run more on DePaul. It's been the opposite.
And the good thing for Villanova, you know, you still have 3 timeouts, so if you end up getting in trouble, you have timeouts to help you. But you got to make those opportunities.
Raven James misfires. Kelly Campbell steering the offense as usual. DePaul with a spin move. No good. It's saved in the corner by Sonia Morris. It will stay with DePaul, it looks like, when we return. A 68-51 lead for Villanova, looking for their 3rd straight victory. We'll be right back, everyone.
You're watching Villanova women's basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead, and we got to raise it up.
We're all in, all together. Great voices ready to start, great energy. We're getting excited about what we do, all right? You know how together you are. You know how hard you're going to work, but you also know how good you are. Let's go show them. 1, 2, 3.
Together!
This is our time.
When we bring it together and we all locked in, we coming back in this locker room with a victory.
That's the Big East way. The 2020 Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be. I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
The Villanova seniors were honored before today's game, a 77-48 record. They've been to an NCAA tournament, 2nd round. They've gone to the semis of the women's NIT a few years back. It's really been a good group to watch.
Yeah, and one senior, Cameron Onken, with only the 2nd triple-double in school history. So much emotion. You see Mary Gadeka there with her mom, who also played for Harry Peretta. You know, you saw the tears. She kind of had to gather herself before coming onto the court, and her mom as well. And just talks about the culture of this program and Harry coaching multiple daughters of former players, and that's why you see so many people in this building, an absolute packed house, and they're all coming to celebrate those seniors and celebrate the man who turned them into pretty darn good basketball players.
DePaul has their 13th straight 20-win season. What would this win mean for Villanova for the Big East tournament? Could they sneak up and win it and maybe catch people by surprise?
Well, if Cameron Onken does what she's doing there with all of those numbers, and you have those role players like her and James and Mullen as well, who hit a big shot, it gives them the confidence. I mean, if you can take care of business here and you, in the second to last weekend of the season, defeat Marquette and DePaul, I mean, well, then who can't you beat? Because they're at the top, so why can't you win the whole thing? So that's the kind of mindset you have to have.
How about the steal by Kelly Campbell and the quick dish to DePaul? That's DePaul ball. Take it away and score it in a quick spot. 4 minutes and change left in the fourth quarter as Raven James is fouled. And maybe Doug Bruno thinking, let's try to stop the clock at least a little.
Yeah, and you know, I think everybody in this arena right now is looking at the clock, and they're just saying, can that time go a little bit faster? Because, you know, DePaul is so quick. They can score in bunches, and we've also seen Villanova lose some leads this season and make things a little interesting in the fourth.
Third team foul on DePaul and the third personal on Shante Stonewall. 15 left to shoot for Villanova. They play Creighton and Providence next week. Maddie Segrist, no good. How about Cam Onken, a third chance as she skies for her 16th rebound.
You know, Villanova, they're saying, okay, we're going to miss 2 layups in a row. You know what? Let's take that thing back out further away from the basket and bleed a little bit more clock. 2 point-blank opportunities for Segrist and for Onken and just couldn't knock it down. I think they just got a little too excited.
DePaul gets a little bit of a break in the schedule, and they finish up with just one game next weekend against Marquette. And then they're in Chicago to host the Big East tournament at Wintrust Arena. So time for DePaul to regather. They'll be the #1 seed. They'll have the rest and the home court on their side, essentially.
Yeah, and you know, if they can take care of business, obviously, you know, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament unless something crazy were to happen. They're the 12th team in the country. You know, their postseason hopes are pretty much solidified, but they want to win another tournament as well. So they want to go out and have a really good game also against Marquette.
It will be their 18th straight NCAA tournament, we would assume. And how about Cam Onken again? 17 rebounds, folks.
Unbelievable.
How about Maddie Segrist from the corner? Cam Onken trying again and draws the personal. People underestimate her strength, a physical guard from the Midwest.
I mean, I don't even know what I'm watching right now. I mean, I know she's capable of doing these things, but the way she's going about her business today, the rebounds, the emotion, knocking down shots, facilitating the basketball to her teammates. This is an unbelievable and historic performance that we're watching by Cameron Onken.
Makes the first free throw, 64% at the line this season. She's 2 for 3 today, has 12 points. Her career high in points is 17. Career high 17 rebounds, career high 10 dimes for just the second triple-double in program history. On the run, Lexi held. No good on that one.
And that is very symbolic of the day it's been for DePaul. You know, they've had layups and they just have not been able to convert.
A steal by Shante Stonewall, helped by Sonia Morris, who crashes into the bench, and the bucket by Kelly Campbell. Quick offense.
This is not even close to being over yet. Villanova really needs to take care of the basketball.
But there's the home run pass again for Villanova as Mary Gadeka on the receiving end of that one.
Yeah, 3 times she's been able to release and get wide open layups in the full court.
Excellent job by Bridget Herlihy on the long bomb. So we said earlier, Cam Onken on the Peyton Manning. That was Bridget Herlihy out of Boston. I guess that's Tom Brady, right?
Hey, let's not talk about all these other quarterbacks. But again, Villanova now with the 4th team foul. They don't want to foul anymore because that will put DePaul on the line.
2:47 left. Stay tuned for our post-game interview, as well as a tribute that Villanova is putting together after the game. We'll stay with the coverage to honor Harry Peretta, as the Villanova Athletics program has put together a nice video tribute for the legendary coach.
Yeah.
Again, Herlihy launches it down court to find Gadeka. Maddie Segrist is there. A career-high 14 field goals made, 29 points for the young superstar.
You can put that on film and show it as a clinic of how to break that pressure.
How about Deba Kelja? Just the second 3 today for DePaul.
It's really interesting what's happening here. I mean, Villanova beating DePaul down the floor, and DePaul kind of a little discombobulated on that full court pressure. And emotion starting to get the best of some of the players out there. There's a lot of intensity, a lot of competitiveness, and each player just trying to get that basketball.
Bridget Herlihy fouled by Sonia Morris. Her second personal. That's 5 team fouls on DePaul. So the Wildcats will shoot 2 free throws the rest of the way. Bridget Herlihy makes her first.
We talked about DePaul averaging close to 86 points per game. Villanova only averages 60 points per game. So you're looking at these numbers, and you would have thought they would have been reversed if you were only looking at the stats. And that's why, you can't always go by statistics because there's a whole human element to these games.
I was just listening to Bill Walton say that last night during a broadcast, Christine. Don't look at the stats. DePaul comes up empty again, putting on the pressure. And it will stay with Villanova with under 2 minutes left.
And again, Villanova has 3 timeouts. If they get into trouble, they can call timeout and hold on to those possessions. And then once it's under a minute, they can also advance the basketball.
77 points is Villanova's season high in points as Mary Gadeka and company help break the trap. And this would be a huge signature victory for Villanova this season. There's the trap. They've handled the pressure better and better as this game has progressed. Raven James, no good on a 3, but Villanova getting the offensive rebound.
And that is a statement right there, being able to get that possession back. Unfortunately, also a statement they're turning it over because they've done that throughout the game as well.
That's 20 turnovers for Villanova, but when you shoot it at 50+% and you hold DePaul to 2-21 from beyond the arc, that's a big reason why you can escape with a win.
Well, we talked about what Cameron Onken has done with her triple-double, only the second in school history. Maddie Segrist, flirting with 30 points. She's got 29, and now Mary Gadeka, another solid performance. Look at the reaction of Mary Gadeka when they just announced that it's the second triple-double in school history for Cameron Onken. Standing ovation, but Mary Gadeka, that senior leader that she is, turning around, almost happier than Cameron Onken is.
Third foul on Sonia Morris as Mary Gadeka to the line. Her first miss of the day, 1 for 2. And splits a pair as Gadeka has 17 points, and Villanova will call timeout with 1:21 left. 76-58 lead for Villanova as the Wildcats heading on the road next weekend to play Creighton and Providence. And, of course, DePaul will finish up with Marquette. DePaul will have the #1 seed. Villanova was up to 4th place in the standings after the Marquette win on Friday night. This win could solidify that Villanova might make the top 4.
Yeah, we talked on Friday that at that point Villanova could have been in the bottom 4 or they could be in the top 4. Well, they're trending upwards. They have that upward arrow, and you're looking at some of the seedings. If the tournament were to start today, this is what would be going on, and obviously DePaul securing that #1 seed. Marquette, again, unbelievable what they've been able to do after losing all of that scoring after last year. They were picked 9th, and they're in 2nd place right now.
Rematch in the semifinals in a few weeks in Chicago, perhaps, at Wintrust Arena. Sonia Morris, short and to the right on a 3, and Cam Onken able to hurry for her 18th rebound.
Why not? Why not?
Final minute of the ball game as Villanova gets it over the timeline. What a half. 55% shooting for Villanova, 50% in the 4th quarter. They've outscored DePaul 23-15 in the final frame. The three-pointers just not falling, and only 30% shooting for the Blue Demons. And Villanova played great offense all day, hitting big shots, shot clock violation. Senior day for Mary Gadeka, Bridget Herlihy, and Cam Onken. And some of the walk-ons, Villanova's had to play them this year. Bridget Herlihy will come off. Mary Gadeka and Cam Onken, the 3 seniors, get a huge ovation from the crowd.
We talked about Harry Preda saying how much this team has overachieved. He didn't think they would have this many wins. Well, boy, I don't know if they've overachieved today, but I think they've shocked people. And I think when the scores are up and everyone around the league, looks at the end result here today, you understand what this means to Harry Preda and all the fans that are here. But what a performance by the Villanova Wildcats in Harry Preda's last home regular season game after 42 years.
Maddie Segrist, her Big East leading 11th double-double. Another 20-point game for Maddie Segrist. 14 of them, that leads the conference. And Villanova on the final home regular season game for Harry Peretta. They score a huge, resounding victory. 76-58 victory over DePaul in front of a packed house at Finner Pavilion as two Hall of Fame coaches embrace on the sideline, and Villanova scores a huge win in this great rivalry.
You know, Harry Paredes probably saying to Doug Bruno, I don't know what the heck just happened out there, but, you know, hopefully we don't see you again. What a performance by the seniors. What a performance by the entire team. It has just been a phenomenal display for this Villanova Wildcat.
Maddie Siegrist with a game-high 29 points. Shante Stonewall had 16 to lead DePaul. Villanova made 7 threes. DePaul made just 2. As Cam Onken will join us when we come back.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be. I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Villanova gets the victory, 76-58 over DePaul, and we're joined courtside by the triple-double senior herself, Cameron Onken, Nick Montaigne, Christine Mata, Cam Onken with us here. Cam, incredible win today. Talk about how you guys got it done.
Yeah, obviously DePaul's a very incredibly talented team, and you know, obviously they're number 1 in the league, and only Creighton has beaten them. And they run more than any other team. So all week we were practicing, getting up and down the court, and I think what hurt us last time was not getting back, so we made an emphasis to get back and not let them have threes or layups, so make them shoot contested 2-point shots over our head is what Harry always preaches, and it worked out today. We you know, really executed our game plan.
The second triple-double in school history, senior day, helping Harry go out in the right way. Congratulations on a great game.
Thank you.
That's Cam Onken, and we'll follow with our video tribute to Harry Peretta, the legendary coach. Cam Onken with a triple-double, and Villanova a big win on senior day. Lots of his former players congratulating him. So many players, he told us, would be coming to visit him for his one last chance to see him go.
Well, and boy, what a way to go out. I mean, in front of this crowd, in front of so many of his former players, and it just shows you, for this team to rise up like this and do what they did out there, it says a lot of why they did what they did and also what they're capable of doing moving forward.
So many of his former players hugging him over there on the sideline. Lots of them walking right behind us, frankly. I recognize a lot of the former players in this rivalry. Brittany Rinko's from Philadelphia. Harry Paredes recruited Philly very well. A lot of kids in this area. And really neat to see all the rejoice.
Yeah, you see Trish Julien here, Adriana Hans here, Katie Davis here. It's just phenomenal to see all of these players. And the best thing, again, we talked about, he's graduated 99% of his players. All of these women on the floor right now have gone on to lead such productive lives in society, many of them coaching, you know, their own kids, other people's kids, and just a testament of who Harry Peretta is, what he's been to the game of basketball. But we're not only losing a great coach for women's basketball, we're really just losing a great human being. But any game you go to, if he's in the stands, you know he's going to be coaching from the stands. So you can't be a spectator.
Incredible theater for the Villanova family today to watch the Wildcats play on Friday what might have been their best game according to the legendary coach. You see two of them talking once again, but Villanova played, I think, even better today.
And what class? The classiest move I'm seeing right now, the DePaul team, the DePaul women's basketball team and Doug Bruno has come back on the floor from the locker room, and they are sitting on the bench about to watch the tribute that is going to take place for Harry Peretta. You know, Doug Bruno, Harry Peretta, great friends, but what a classy move by this basketball team to come back out on this court, sit on the bench, and be a part of the tribute to one of their competitors. Fantastic.
Villanova won points in the paint. They won rebounds today. They won the fast break points over DePaul, who's the queen of the fast break. Just incredible and you see just the emotion of Villanova seniors. Mary Gadeka with her mom, Lisa Angelotti, a former Big East Player of the Year for Harry Perretta back in the 80s.
Yeah, so many emotions. You know, it's already high emotion for the seniors, and then you add everything else going on. You see all the families, the children, the spouses, the extended family, and that's really the best way to describe what you're seeing right now, and it's family.
Villanova stops the 4-game losing streak against DePaul, and now time for the video tribute for Harry Perretta.
These battered hands are all you own. This broken heart is turned to stone. Go hang your glory on the wall. There comes a time when castles fall.
I just want to say thank you. I mean, he really gave me a wonderful gift in my life, and something that, as I mentioned earlier, forever changed my life.
I just want to thank him. I think that he has created something amazing here. We're all here for him right now. So I just think it's an amazing. He's kept this group of people, this group of women together throughout all of his 42 years. It's really special, and I'm just proud of him.
These dirty streets you learn to love.
But I was not surprised. I mean, Harry's been dealing with 15 women for 42 years. I mean, he kind of needs some time to himself.
None. Oh, knows how you cross that span. Back on the beat, back to the start. Trust in your heart. That's the measure of a man. It's the fire in the eyes, the lines on the hand. It's the things you understand.
These kids are unbelievable. What they do, how they play hard. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. I mean, you know, we're outmatched a lot of positions, and they just got it, and they just play hard. That's all they do is keep trying. I'm so happy for them.
I thought to myself, it's going to be really hard to walk into that gym and see somebody else coaching the team. He's Villanova women's basketball. That's who he is.
In the locker room, after the game, we get to go in, and when our dad yells, this is what I do.
Dad, just wanted to say thanks for everything you've done for us our whole entire lives. Always bringing us up to the school, always having us around the team. You've created so many opportunities for us, and a lot of times I don't get a chance to say thank you. So I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Love you.
I never get to thank you enough either for everything you've done for us our entire lives, paving the way for us to succeed in life and giving us the connections we need. I just want to say thank you and love you.
He arrived at Villanova in 1978 as a baby-faced 22-year-old from Lycoming College and was given the reins of the Wildcat women's basketball program. Now, 42 years later, he has left a legacy that will never be forgotten. Harry has used his unorthodox style to become one of the top tacticians in the women's game. His disciplined style of taking care of the ball, having a love for the game, and believing in each other has helped Harry put the stamp on the program for the last 4 decades. One of the most animated and vocal coaches in the country, his philosophical foundation of playing the game the right way has made his team a crowd favorite across the country. On the court, his numbers speak for themselves. The 780 wins rank him as the winningest coach in the history of Villanova basketball for both men and women, and ranks him 7th on the winningest active Division I collegiate coaching list and 13th all time. During his Villanova career, Harry has registered 30 winning seasons, 33 non-losing seasons, and 20 win campaigns. In addition, he has led the Wildcats to 11 NCAA tournament appearances, 5 Big East championships, and 18 Philadelphia Big Five titles. Highlighting those postseason achievements is the trip to the 1982 AIAW Final Four, the stunning upset of #1 ranked Connecticut that halted the Huskies' NCAA record 70-game winning streak and propelled the Wildcats to the Big East Championship and the Elite Eight in 2003. However, judging Harry by his stats and numbers does not tell the whole story. This is a man whose loyalty, dedication, and caring nature has made him a wonderful friend to many. His love for Villanova, his family, and all the women who have played for him is unmatched. There is nothing that makes him prouder than watching his players mature throughout their careers and then go on to find success in the real world in whatever career path they choose. In his 42 years, 99% of his players who have stayed 4 years have received their degree. A man of principle, a man of his word, Harry has given his heart and soul to the Wildcat community for 42 years, and we at Villanova are deeply appreciative. Villanova University congratulates Harry on all his accomplishments and thanks him for all he has given to the school, the game of women's basketball, and the Wildcat community. At this time, please direct your attention to center court as Vice President and Director of Athletics Mark Jackson, Senior Associate Athletic Director Lynn Ty present Harry with a commemorative gift in recognition of his 42 years as the head coach of the Villanova Wildcats.
A great celebration at Finneran Pavilion. Lots of Harry Paretta's former players and his current ones, and the Villanova administration, his assistant coaches, his family members. Jay Wright was there, Doug Bruno, in this wonderful act of kindness towards the legendary coach. Tough to put it into words sometimes when you see it, Christine.
You know, this is all about him right now, but as you can see, he was calling people over, calling Jay Wright over, calling Doug Bruno over, and they didn't want to come over. They wanted it to be about him, but he wants to always share all of this success with everyone that he feels is a part of it. And I mean, what else can you say but congratulations to a fantastic coach, to a fantastic human being, and just a fantastic gift to women's basketball.
1,500 wins combined for Doug Bruno and Harry Paretta. Number 781 for Coach Harry. What a win today for Villanova. A 76-58 final over DePaul. 16th win of the year for Villanova and 10-6 in the Big East. Villanova, a rebuilding season. They have more Big East wins than they did all of last year. On senior day, the Villanova seniors get their 78th win. A triple-double for Cam Onken, 12 points, a career-high 18 rebounds, career-high 10 assists, and Maddie Segrist, 29 points, a game high. Villanova shot 50%. Christine Mana, your final thoughts.
Well, I just think it's been a great day to celebrate the history of this program, to celebrate the man who led it, and to celebrate the young women whose lives have been impacted forever. What a game we got to witness, and what an environment today.
DePaul shot just 29% and only 2 triples for the Blue Demons. That'll wrap it up for today. For our great crew, thanks for joining us on the Big East Digital Network. For Christine Mata, I'm Nick Montaigne saying so long from Finneran Pavilion. Villanova wins again. It's a Harry Paretta day for the Wildcats.